Hey everyone! How's it going? Hey! You are coming to Funk from the Front Seat. Your host today, Kara Oker, standing in for the amazing Zach Robertson. And we're just getting funky today with a little bit of taste of honey. Yeah! What up? It's a beautiful day in Cincinnati. So beautiful. Got my little hat on. Mount St. Joseph represent. Love you, Dad. We're just rocking today. Just rocking. Because why not? We have everyone in the house. David Brooks in the house. Oh, who else do we have? Do we have California in the house? Shout out to North Carolina. New York. PA. Washington. Everybody in between. And everyone around the world. Just grooving in my car. Because why not? So bear with me. This is going to be fun. Let's get this show on the road. So just kind of grooving. We have a special guest today, Nadia Flores. She is a reinvention coach. So it'll be super fun to talk about personal development with her. And woman to woman, coach to coach. Get up on the floor, Nadia. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just feeling this groove a little bit. Got a groove. Okay. So, yes. So thank you so much for joining the show, guys. I'm so excited. Zach Robertson is actually my producer today, so this will be fun. Whether or not he wants to, if he wants to later on, he can come on. But today he is my producer. So send him much, much love. And we have a lot of great things going on today. And I'm trying to figure
Kara jumped off for a minute, but how you doing, Nadia? She's having some technical difficulties in the car. Welcome to Funk from the Front Seat. How are you?
I'm doing great, Zach. How are you?
Good. I am fine. I saw you back there boogieing to yes. Kara's opening right there.
Yeah. I love me some boogie.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. And Kara's back right now, so I'm going to jump off and she's going to jump back on. You guys have a great show.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
And we're back. Hey, Nadia.
How are you feeling?
Yes, good. How are you doing?
So excited to be here. So excited to be here. Oh my God, amazing.
Yes. I was so excited looking at everything as a host, and I was pushing buttons, and I will never do that again.
So
how are you?
What's that?
So how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
Thank you for
today. Back on the beach. Here, yeah, it was beautiful. Cool, the water, super cool, sunny, I'm very here.
Oh, good. I love it. Yes, it looks very beautiful and beachy where you are. Love it. So, you are a reinvention coach, and can you tell us what that is? What that means?
Yeah, absolutely. About life, right? We're constantly only content is change. Every time there is a change, so either embrace it, grow, or try to pretend it's not there, right? Or just try to stay where you are. That never works. You can't. So I am a coach, and waiting for the change to happen. Not only embrace it, but in their lives. There's so many people out there that are living a life they don't want to live. Somebody else's dream, somebody else business. They actually want us to grow. But also professional, right? Think about it. Your job. Let's see. Technical difficulty.
Yeah, so much better. Yes. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Nadia.
Is that better?
Yes.
There's one.
Oh, now you're freezing a little bit. You're back and you're not frozen.
Okay. But I think there's still echo.
Yeah, there's echo, and then every few words you squeak.
Okay. Let me know out. Right back.
Hey, that's okay. We are anything goes today. So that's Nadia. She is, technical difficulties. We'll get her back on. For those of you who were following on, she was talking about reinvention and change and what that means and all of that, which is great. I'm, just kind of letting Zach do his producing thing today. So shout out to Zach for kind of helping Nadia through her technical difficulties, but so exciting because as a coach myself, change is huge and terrifying and everyone wants it, but nobody wants to go through it because it's terrifying, right? So, but yeah, we are back with Nadia.
Hey, lovely. Is that back? I don't know.
Yeah, you're going and then you squeak a little bit. Like you start off good and then it kind of stereos.
Yeah. I wonder why.
That is better.
Let's try to see if Zach said what to do. He went and came back, so I don't think it's that.
Yeah. Are you using your phone?
I am, because my computer is
Okay. Yes. So we're doing the best we can for sure. I don't know if you can kind of be a little closer speaking into the phone, like this maybe. I don't know. You're
Let me
frozen
try.
right now.
Okay.
Nope, you're still frozen, and that's okay. We can keep rolling and just see how it goes. So you're talking about reinvention and just the whole process of change and people wanting that change in their life. Oh, there you are.
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, so it's like so important to just embrace the change, right? Also go and look for the change that you want to create before getting to. So it's a matter of just being connected to who you are.
Yes. That's a little better, by the way. So yes, that's good. How do you help people through who are like, you know, you sound very like what you do, I'm really into that and it sounds appealing, but why would I want to put myself through that? Like, what do you do with those? How do you help people through to those who are just terrified?
My gosh. That's a great question, Tara. The thing is that we're constantly faced with fear all the time. Because fear is just part of who we are as human beings, right? So as us facing fear, there's one thing, we need to stop distraction. We really need to create awareness. Awareness is key for anything and everything in life. If you are aware and if you're conscious of who you are and just listen to your body. And I know it sounds kind of like cheesy when I say listen to your heart, but it's the ultimate truth. When you're able to listen to your heart, you're able to listen to yourself, and you are able to then know exactly who you are from the information that has been put in your DNA. You know, like not everybody wants to be a coach, not everybody wants to be a professional athlete. Not everybody wants to be a teacher, not everybody wants to be a politician. Everyone has different likes, dislikes, talents, and gifts. But what happens, like when we are little, our parents, our society, they tell us, they box us, they put us in a box. They tell us, okay, this is what's good, this is what's not good. So if you do something quote unquote good, we praise you, and if you do something quote unquote bad, then we punish you. So what happens? People start repressing their emotions. They start they start hearing, don't cry, that's too loud, that's annoying, that's obnoxious. So what do? You stay quiet. And then next time you have any feeling, that's obnoxious, so what do? You stay quiet. Anytime that you are feeling those emotions of sadness or whatnot, instead of really feeling them through, because you've been told that you're obnoxious and that you shouldn't be screaming out loud and whatnot, then you stop them, right? You numb those feelings and you keep going. Even though you feel them, you numb them and you distract yourself with social media, binge watching Netflix, binge eating, binge drinking, drugs, you name it, drugs of any kind, right? Illegal and legal, prescription drugs as well. So all of these are distractions. But when you really sit with your emotions and are able to hold space for yourself, and you really get to understand yourself and who you are, you're able to just sit with yourself, by yourself, alone, just you and your thoughts, that opens this massive universe that is within you. That's why it is so important to get to know ourselves.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Yes. Oh, and we have Zach coming on. What up, Zach?
I think the echo that's going, you mute yourself, Kara. When I'm talking, just make sure that you mute yourself. Because the echo is because, yeah, now it's perfect, right? Like right now, for obvious reasons, I cannot hear you because you're muted, right? But now there's no echo because you were hearing my voice in your screen and that was playing to my screen again. So that's where the echo was coming from. But now we're good. I think I actually can do this without the earphones. Let's try it. Yeah, I look prettier. Ooh, better without the headphones. Ooh. Anyway. Oh, technology. Anyway, we were talking about feelings and emotions and just letting them flow, and how important it is to pay attention to them, how important it is to just be connected with the self, and how important it is to just question yourself every now and again. I mean, of course, not every single day, but like just question yourself. And we're going to talk about healthy barriers because it's such an important topic, right? Most of the times as well, when we grow up, they tell us, oh, you have to be agreeable. And they mask it saying, you have to be nice, be nice, be nice, be kind. Yes, you can be nice and be kind, but you can still make sure that you have your boundaries set up. Like if you don't want to do something, you don't have to do it. But here we go again. Our parents made us do things that we didn't want to do, and they made us do it, even though we were like crying and screaming and whatnot. And they're like, you have to do it. So of course you end up doing it, right? So what happens? You grow up, and one day you're like 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, whatever age you are, but you're older, and you find yourself doing things that you don't want to do out of trying to please others, or out of not disappointing people, or out of fitting in into a society, feeling like you belong in a group, feeling like you belong with your coworkers, with your family, with whatnot. So it's so easy to get lost along the lines of who I really am, and what I really want, and what others want from me or expect from me, right? And it's so easy.
Yes, good. Yes, let's do this. So I do want to kind of elaborate on that. So yes, thank you, Zach. So we'll like ask a question, then mute, and then you answer. Mute. So good. We've got this. Thank you so much, everyone, for bracing yourselves for this. I love how you talk about just really stripping away and figuring out your authentic self, like undoing the conditioning and the quieting down and the dampening of your true self and boundaries. And yeah, let's talk more about boundaries, because that is a great part of the unwinding and the deconstruction of your inauthentic self that you have to be to just survive in the world. So let's talk about boundaries and the healthy boundaries.
Kara. Thank you, Kara. Absolutely. So what happens is that first, for us to be able to set up those healthy boundaries, we have to really get to know ourselves, like really, like to the T, just understand. And the way you do that is not by thinking, but by feeling, because our bodies are compasses. A body's a compass. If you listen to your body's going to tell you something is not right or something feels amazing. When something doesn't feel right, that's your intuition, that's your inner guidance, that's your support system telling you that you need to do something else. Like when something feels like aching or pain, so feels like not good, not fun, not exciting, that means you get to do something else, regardless of what situation you're facing, right? Because sometimes we say no when we want to say yes, and we say yes when we want to say no. And once you listen to your body and you feel the emotions fully, because the feelings will pop up. You'll feel it either on your chest, on your throat, on your legs, like you experience fear immediately. That's like there's even this these sensations that you feel in your body are caused in the brain, right? So there's something happens, there's a trigger for the emotion, and the emotion just automatically causes this biological reaction in your body. So for example, fear. The first place you're going to feel it 9 times out of 10 is automatically your legs, because that goes back to the reptilian brain and preparing you for like the fight or flight mode, right? So it's sending the blood to the biggest muscles in your body so you can run, because that's what we used to do when we live in the, Precambric era. Well, not a Precambric because that's what the dinosaurs, but like back in the day when we were in tribes and stuff, like when we're very not as evolved as now, that's what happened, right? So the reptilian brain is just doing that. So whenever we feel fear, we experience fear, all the blood goes to our legs. But we can also feel it in our stomach, in our solar plexus. We can feel it in our chest area. Sometimes we want to say something, but we don't. And then immediately we feel our throat closing, almost like we can't talk. So all of these are emotions that if we are open to feel them, then we understand that's my cue to say yes, or that's my cue to say no, right? If something is not feeling right, go do something that feels right. Don't put yourself through something that you don't want to do out of pleasing people. because then you may please them, but what's going to happen is you're going to end up feeling miserable with yourself. And you may say, oh, okay, just this time, and I'm just going to let it pass, and it's going to be fine. Yeah, but you continue doing it over and over again, because before you know it, there's a neural pathway in your brain, right? And this subconscious mind is kind of like running the show of your life. And if there's already this programming of you needing to please people, then you find yourself doing it constantly. Or you don't find yourself doing it constantly, but you're doing it because it's very subconscious. It's very, very subconscious. That's why awareness is so important. But your body is constantly telling you, like, this feels right, let's do it, go for it. This doesn't feel right, don't freaking do it. And we're always being guided. So once you listen to your body, you learn to trust yourself, because it's like acting upon the feeling, and then trying it. And then that will give you self-confidence and trust. And then from that confidence and that trust in yourself, then next time you get to make a decision, whether it's, what am I drinking today? Am I drinking water? Am I drinking orange juice? Am I drinking something else? People that like to drink alcohol, how much am I having tonight or today, whatever? Or what am I eating today? Am I just going to go grab junk food? Am I going to eat something super healthy? Am I going to eat a salad? Am I going to eat vegan? Am I going to eat, I don't know, like something else, whatever it is. Like, there's an array of options that every person has every moment, right? But it's a matter of choosing what's best for you. And if you listen to your body knows, because we're constantly being guided, and we have that constant connection to infinite intelligence always with us. But we have to be prepared for it. And to be prepared for it, you have to be conscious and aware of who you are. Conscious and aware of your body, of your mind, of your feelings, of your emotions, and of yourself as a whole. Because it's so easy, like we were talking about distractions earlier, but it's so easy to get distracted nowadays with everything that we have, right? Like the news and the pandemic and whatever, like all these subjects, politicians, and then like all these things happening with like all these things that are happening right now socially, that are just trying to distract us from ourselves. So it's going back and remembering that we get to put ourselves first, because the most important person in your life is you. Boom.
Yes, love it. I love it. I love all of that. And it is so important to listen to your body, not what the world is saying. I mean, yes, like, be aware of it, but first and foremost, just really get to know and understand your body. And the transformation process, I'm pretty sure you know this. And the transformation process, when you first start, your body thinks everything is bad. And you're like, I don't even know. This is good. This is good. And I'm terrified and my body's freaking out. How do you help coach people?
So it is a mindset thing, Kara. Like, every time there is a change in our life, especially when there's like a massive change, our body and our mind are immediately going to feel like this is not good, like you were saying. So fear arises, right? Because we are leaving our comfort zone. And let's remember that fear is something that is natural to the human being. Fear is something that we have in our brains because it's part of our mechanism of defense for survival, right? So fear gets activated sometimes whenever we're going through those massive changes in our lives, because fear wants us to stay right where we are. So let's say, for example, that right now I am a doctor, and I realize that I don't want to be a doctor anymore. And it's not so easy, right? Like, when you think about it, it's not that easy, because first you have to just think about all the consequences of it. And then what are you going to do next? And right then, your brain is freaking out. It's like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Like, do I really want to do this? I'd rather just like stay right where I am. I'd rather just be a doctor until I retire, or even longer, or forever, or whatnot. So it is so important to, again, go back to who you are and say, well, now I just want to be, I don't know, I want to be a dancer. Okay, so then ask yourself, what do I want to do? If I want to be a dancer, what do I have to do? What are the pertinent steps for me to take? And how am I going to get there? right? And then from there, once you decide it, you claim that and you go all in. But then you burn all the bridges behind you. You're not questioning yourself, all that self-doubt, you don't even entertain it. And that's when I come in. As a coach, I hold you accountable. Like every single day, we are talking to make sure that you're achieving your goals, to make sure that you are going exactly where you said you were wanting to go. Because it's so easy to let fear in, and fear sometimes just wants us to stay there. Fear wants us to live in what is known. Fear wants us to just like stay where we are. It doesn't want us to move. It doesn't want us to expand and grow. This is our ego. This is our fear. And if we listen to it, we'll stay where we are. And well, first off, we never can stay where we are because change is constant, right? But change will be a lot more painful if we don't manage to embrace it, first off. And second, to just understand that it's a mindset thing. And just talk to your fears and sit with your emotions. Just sit with your emotions and tell them, okay, what are you trying to teach me? I appreciate your input. I appreciate you not wanting me in any kind of danger, and that's why you want me to stay in my comfort zone. But guess what? We're doing this because this is my life and I got this. And you get to say that with confidence in yourself and trusting yourself without a shadow of a doubt that you got this and that this is your life and you're going to do whatever you want because this is your life experience, and life is to be enjoyed. Life is to have fun. Life is to just have the best time. Like whenever people tell me that we're here to suffer, I'm like, no, we're not. I'm sorry, but we're not. Like, we're here to enjoy our life experience. We are here to just live a fun, fulfilling, and free life where we are feeling just like the best version of ourselves.
Amen.
Amen. Yeah. So.
Yes. Yes, I love it. Thank you so much for that for all of that, because when I got back on, so my my phone is like, what is going on here? So thank you guys. But no, I love that, because yes, your body is going to freak out and say all of it is bad, but you have to remind yourself, no, this is good. This is what's good for me. And I know this because I feel it in my gut, in my bones. And so what are some tools that you recommend people use to ground themselves and to really hold on to the whole sense of just standing in your truth and really identifying and strengthening that?
I strongly recommend to just sit in meditation. Sit in meditation. Even if you can do it in the beginning, that's fine. There is guided meditation available. Go to YouTube, just find it, just meditation, get a meditation 10 minutes and just pay attention to whatever the person is saying, because it is so powerful to just sit with yourself. You sit with yourself in silence, and you might have some thoughts going through your brain because it's not easy to just like stop thinking and have a blank mind just like that. It takes practice, but it's so grounding and it's so great for you. It's your connection with infinite intelligence and your higher self, right? So meditation is so, so, so important. I recommend to do it every day, even if it's for only 10 minutes, but just get in the habit of doing it, because that is downloading information. That is downloading information from source, from God, from the universe, however people want to call it. It's there, it's available to you if you just pay attention. So that's meditation is one. The other one is prayer to whoever you believe in or whatever you believe in, prayer to something bigger, and in knowing and trusting that that's something bigger than you has got you. In this trust and just understanding that it's got you, that you don't need to worry about the results right now, because it's so interesting, right? Like sometimes we want something and we want it to happen like yesterday. It's like patience, perseverance, resilience, and just freaking chill, man. It's like it's coming into place. Everything you want is coming into place. As long as you're not willing to settle for anything less than what you want, everything you want is coming. But sometimes it's so funny that just out of desperation, we just settle for whatever, instead of actually going for what we want. So we pray and we pray for an amazing job or career. We pray for an amazing husband or wife. We pray for an amazing whatever, an amazing health and whatnot. And then we start taking the steps, and then we don't see the results in like 5 days, and we're like, no, I'm such a failure. I'm just gonna settle for whatever I can get. And next thing you know, you're in the wrong job or career. You freaking hate what you're doing. You're dating someone out of not being lonely, and you're probably like miserable anyway. And then like you were trying to like lose weight, and 5 days later you didn't lose weight, and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna have this burger, not like burgers are bad, but junk food, I'm trying to say. Anyway, my 2 cents. But it's so important not to give up. So prayer and meditation, and then from there being patient and being trusting and being just knowing that everything you want is coming. Just don't settle. And in the meantime, work for what you want with aligned action, and very important, trust yourself.
Yes. Yes. All of it. So thank you so much, Nadia. We are going to get back into it. And but for now, we're actually going to go into a word from our sponsor. Hit it, Zach.
Hey, this is Keith Jackson with P-Funk Radio, inviting you to check out my brother Zach Robinson with Funk from the Front Seat. Saturdays, 12 noon on the East Coast and 9 a.m. on the West Coast. It all happens on 9 on the Grind TV and also on YouTube. Great guest, great conversation each and every Saturday. That's Funk from the Front Seat with Zach Robinson on 9 on the Grind TV and YouTube. Check him out.
I love it. I love it. So, how do you guide people into getting out of, or kind of working out of, the trap of perfectionism? Because that's almost as bad as not going for your dreams. You want to overdo it. You want to just be perfect in the eyes of somebody. But what are your thoughts on just the whole notion of striving for perfectionism?
Yes, I think perfectionism is the best way to not do anything. It's the best way to just like stay forever where you are. Like I've had like my coaches, they always tell me better done than perfect, because otherwise you just like stay there forever, and it can always get better, right? It can always be more perfect. It can always look better. It can always sound better. It can always appear better to whoever it is that is judging. And most of the time, let me tell you, people out there, they're going to talk anyway, but they don't really care. What happens is like, you are the one judging it. You're the one like actually getting in your own way and blocking you from your very own success. So freaking do it. And that's what I tell my coachees, right? My coaching clients, I love working with them. Sometimes they're like, oh, but like I said that I was going to do this, and I feel like I can't. And that's self-doubt, right? And we work through self-doubt. It's like, okay, well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about from the perspective of seeing it as a third party. Like you are not you. You kind of like leave your body, and you are, hi, Dr. B69. Ooh. Greetings. So we are talking about observing yourself, kind of like from an outsider's point of view, to the point that you are, as if you were not yourself, just observing it to try to be objective. And then from there, ask yourself, okay, of course, you're not going to do something crap and then move on, right? But you cover certain standards without trying to be perfect, but you cover certain standards. And then from those standards, it's like, okay, this is good enough. If I can make it a little bit better, again, to those standards, let's do it. But otherwise, I'm not gonna, oh my gosh, and it needs to look like this, and it needs to sound like this, and it's to get so much better. Like sometimes I remember when I used to go live in the beginning, live on like social media. Oh my gosh, I was terrified. And the lighting was never good enough. And my hair was just like this little thing was out of place, and it's like, no, and my makeup is not correct, and the location is just blah. And then I would finally do the video, and I would finish, and I'd be like, there's no way I'm posting this, just delete it. And then I would try another 10,000 times and end up deleting all of them, and just ended up frustrated because I wasn't doing it. It's like, just freaking do it. It doesn't matter. Better done than perfect, and you'll get perfect as you go. You know, it's so important to just freaking do it. And that's the attitude, you know, like, yes. So very important to just have that mindset of, I'm doing it, and I'm burning all the bridges. I'm not looking back. I'm doing it, and that's it. There's no way out. You have to. It's kind of like fight or flight.
I love it. It is a lot. There are a lot of truths being dropped today, and I love it. Thank you, Nadia. Yeah, I just like this live show, I'm just gonna go. My phone's gonna die. We're just gonna squeak and squawk at each other, and that's okay because we're doing it. And this is like a perfect experience, and so I love it. And so what do you think about? I talk about, and I kind of practice in my own life. You know, we go through life, and yes, perfect is the enemy of good. Yes, Lori from North Carolina, I love that. When sometimes we have like common themes, common words that run through our minds, and it's just, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's, you're a beautiful goddess today, or anger, control. And I suggest just writing down those buzzwords and just not really striving to find the source of it, but just kind of, these are my thoughts for the day. What do you also suggest like journaling or any other like emotional or like word sorting, like means of kind of just sorting out those thoughts?
Yes, actually, journaling is a great tool as well. And I recommend journaling in present tense, as if you already have what you're looking for, or journaling even in past tense as it has already happened. You know, like let's say that you're planning a trip to Greece. Like instead of, this is like, this has to do with quantum leaping and manifestation and whatnot. But it's so important to see yourself there and to think of how you would feel once you're there in those beautiful waters in the middle of the Mediterranean Ocean, surrounded by all this beautiful city, I don't know, the beautiful city of Greece, because Athens, and then if you go to the Greek Isles, just beauty everywhere and just these amazing colors with the blue waters and the blue skies and whatnot. And it's so important to have those feelings come through, and right as you're feeling that, journal it out, right? And then you can journal in the past tense. Like Greece was so amazing. I love that trip. I love the weather. It was so sunny and so warm the whole week I was there, or the whole 2 months I was there, or the whole however long you want to be for, right? And it was so amazing, and I had the best food. And it's so important to pair with that emotion, with the feeling, because once you pair your feelings with the visualization, then that has to do with quantum leaping. Then you are playing with energy. Because remember, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between like past, present, and future. It doesn't know the difference between what you're seeing and what you're imagining. So it's very, very powerful to journal, and to journal for what you want, and to journal for gratitude as well. Gratitude is one of the things that elevates your frequency. So important to be grateful. If you want to get out of a bad mood, like on a whim, be grateful. And if you can't be, like, if you're really that low, like you're in frequency, like you're vibrating like to the point that you're so angry and so frustrated, you cannot just bounce to happy, right? You cannot bounce from like anger to happiness just like that. However, you can go at least neutral. So from that anger, instead of judging it or judging yourself for being angry, you can always just say, okay, I'm going to sit with this anger. First up, what am I feeling? What triggered this anger? And you can do a little bit of shadow work, right? And you go through the anger. Okay, why am I feeling this? Okay, this is coming because I got triggered for whatever reason. My neighbor did something crazy, and I got this angry state. And why does he always do that, or whatever? Okay, but why am I judging my neighbor? Because let's remember, when we're judging, we really are judging ourselves. We're mirrors of each other. We are mirrors, right? So whatever we see in others is just a reflection of who we are. It's just a reflection of ourselves. So others are just teachers. They're just showing us what we believe in, what we see in ourselves. That might be subconscious. But okay, going back to the journaling, because I'm deviating on all these beautiful subjects here. But yeah, journaling is super important. Prayer, meditation, and that to keep your vibe high. I love dancing, man. Nothing like a good groove and you moving to the beat of the music, or not to the beat of the music, because there's some people that cannot dance, and that's okay. Love all survival doesn't matter. But just move and have a good time and groove it out, because you're moving the energy in your body. You're moving it out. You're expressing it. You're flowing, and that is so important to let the emotions out. Let us remember that everything that we put in our bodies must come out, right? We drink water, we go pee. We eat something, you know what happens, we have to go to the bathroom as well. We put emotions in, we better let them out, because otherwise they're going to come out in some other how. Like, next thing you know, people are getting like all these diseases that are like self-immune. Like, people are causing themselves diseases, For example, it's been heard that cancer on the throat means because you are not saying what you're meaning to say. Cancer on your chest means that you, like on breast cancer, there's an emotional connection between breast cancer and not being able to forgive. It says, I just threw negative energy journals away to let go of it. Yes, burn them. If you can burn them, oh my gosh, that is such a good one. Hey, Bird Bait, thank you so much for that, because that is so important. Like when you write out something that is causing negativity in you, it's so cool when you get rid of it. And for me, the best way to get rid of it is by burning it. Burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. Well, not like that. No, I don't do a dance ritual when I do it, but but it's so cool when you're like going through anger or pain or suffering or whatnot, and you just write it out and then just burn the letter, or burn whatever it is that you wrote out. Just burn it. And while you're burn it with the intention of letting it go and just releasing those intentions, those that negativity, those feelings. And so important to just feel them, because a lot of the times it's easier being numb than actually feeling your emotions and actually feeling everything that you're going through, because sometimes it can be painful. It can be very painful. It can be annoying. It can be frustrating to be frustrated. That's so funny. But yeah, it can. So it's easier to just do what? Like, you come home and you watch 3 hours of Netflix. Before you know it, it's 5. Before you know it, you've like spent half your day watching Netflix, or like scrolling through social media, liking pictures on Instagram or Facebook or whatnot. And I mean, if you do it for 15 minutes, that's fine. But 3 hours later, you're still scrolling. Like, I invite you to just like take a look at yourself and just check, because I'm not saying this out of judgment, please. I don't judge. We come from love. Everything that I'm saying is out of love, like to each their own, and everybody does whatever they feel like they need to do, and they know whatever is best for them. Every person is going through their own journey. That's why there is no judgment whatsoever, right? But what I would like to invite anyone that is hearing here is anyone that is listening to this amazing program. First off, Zach, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. And thank you, Kara. But at the same time, I want to invite you guys to just pay attention to yourselves. Pay attention to your emotions. Pay attention to where you're standing. Pay attention to how you feel. How are you feeling? How are you feeling in your relationship with others? In your relationship, first and foremost, with the person in the mirror. How is your relationship with yourself? And Kara, you said something super amazing earlier about that, how you talk to yourself, your inner dialogue. Your inner dialogue. What are you telling yourself in the mornings? What are you telling yourself throughout the day? How do you talk to yourself? Are you talking to yourself like your mom used to talk to you when you were a kid? Are you talking to yourself maybe like in a nice way, in a kind way, in a loving way, in a compassionate way? Or are you being like mean? Are you judging yourself? Are you telling yourself all these things that are probably random beliefs, like I'm not of interest, I'm not good enough, I'm not healthy enough, I'm not whatever enough? Let me tell you something, you are enough. And if you want to make changes, you can, because you are the creator of your reality. You are the creator of your life. So we got this, right? I'm a superhero. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Birth Bait. You are a superhero. Now you get to get your costume and show us a picture. Send it over.
I'm all about it. Yeah, everyone. I love getting comments and messages. So if you decide to just send a comment of encouragement or just a shout out with the superhero costume, I'm all for it. Nadia, are you up for it? Yeah, we gotta have it. We gotta have it in our lives. So Nadia, how important is the right support system in your journey to reinvent yourself?
My gosh, Kara, that's an amazing question. It is so important and people sometimes don't realize it. They're like, well, I don't need anyone. I got this by myself. It's like, I mean, if you have the perseverance and the resilience to give yourself the accountability and the attitude to motivate yourself every single day, by all means, and this is, like, kudos to you, and with all my respect, congratulations, that's amazing, but 9 times out of 10 we've been so programmed that, there's a phrase where they say, if you hang out with 5 billionaires, you'll be the 6th one. If you hang out with five smart people, you'll be the 6th one. If you hang out with 5 idiots, you'll be the 6th one. So who you surround yourself with is so important for your life in general. So that's another tip for awareness, right? Who am I surrounding myself with, and what am I consuming? Because what you consume consumes you, right? Whether it's media, whether it's something you're listening to, like your music, what you're eating, what you are seeing, what you're paying your attention to. It's so important to be aware of who you allow in your proximity circle. Your circle of proximity can make you or break you. If it is aligned with your goals and who you are, it's amazing. But if it's not, it's going to be like swimming against the current, and that's when a coach comes in handy. I'm Mrs. Incredible. Yes, you are. Ooh! All right, Mrs. Incredible, I love it. I'm a fairy princess too. I love it. It's a mix of everything. A fairy princess is Mrs. Incredible fairy princess. Love it. Thank you for that. And yeah, we were talking about just being and embodying, besides who you want to be, just paying attention and being aware, right? Being aware of everything that you have in your body, in your heart, in your mind. And yeah, Kara, I think inner dialogue is massive. Like, inner dialogue and the way you speak to yourself is so important. And then just staying focused on what you want with your circle of proximity. I mean, they can make you or break you, right? And that's when a coach comes in handy. Because sometimes if your friends are probably going to tell you, oh, I got you. I can be your support system. You can talk to me anytime you want. Yeah, but it's not the same. When you actually invest in yourself through a coach, your coach is there to support you. Your coach is there to motivate you when you don't have the will and the want to do anything. When you're feeling freaking depressed and you're feeling like you don't want to get out of bed, your coach is there to tell you, we got this. Let's freaking do this. Your coach is there to hold you accountable, and is holding you accountable for what you're doing, and is there for you to celebrate all your wins, whether big or small, because a win is a win regardless, and is there to just support you, right? And it's so much easier. Just make it so much easier. And then it's a matter of really understanding that in the end, yeah, you're paying the coach, but in the end, the investment is for you. Who is going to become a better version of themselves? You, the person that is investing in themselves, is going to become the best version of themselves through you, right? Like, as a coach, you're just a tool. You're just a tool who is helping them hold space, create space, ask the right questions when necessary, maybe giving a little bit of advice, and sometimes it's not necessary. To me, the way I coach, I don't really tell my clients what they need to be doing, because they already have access to that intelligence. They already have access. They know what they want and they know what to do. All I do is create space for them by asking powerful, insightful questions, so they are aware of what is inside of them already. So they are aware of their answers, so they know what to do, so they choose what to do. Because again, them and I share my perspective, I can always say something that is coming from like the way I'm seeing it, right? In the end, my perspective and my perception are mine, and that depends on my upbringing and the love I received from my family and my context, my life, and everything that I've lived through. But then the other person might be going through the same situation, but from a completely different perspective, from a different context, from a different upbringing. So if I try to tell people what to do, that's just going to hinder them. What I sometimes tell my clients is, can I share something with you? When I was in a situation like yours, this is how I solved it. This is how I solved the situation, the relationship, whatever it is. If you want, and if this resonates with you, you can borrow my perspective and do it. But if not, let's just keep wondering, because the answers are already inside you, right? The answers are already within us. We already know what to do. Sometimes we just need to be aware. Aware is the magic word, I think.
Yes. And so I'm very curious now, and then we'll kind of divert a little bit, but I do have one question before we divert slightly. How do you advise your clients to let go of the support system that no longer serves you? We talked about, the habits that no longer serve you, but, just really, they're just clinging to your heart and it's not letting go, right? You just like, how do you let go and, just really trust yourself to, maybe people in your support system, maybe they need to be, moved to like a B or a C team and not the A team. Or maybe you need to not really have them completely, but how do you advise your clients to let go, especially your support system?
I think we get to understand that elevation requires separation. So first off, awareness, right? Awareness. And that phrase is not mine, it's one of my coaches. But yeah, I borrow it constantly because I really believe in it. Elevation sometimes requires separation. And number one is awareness, right? I have a client, for example, two of them actually, that just broke up with their significant others because they realized that they were in a toxic relationship. And that toxic relationship, instead of helping them being lifted to their higher potential, to the highest potential, and without, these relationships were just keeping them down. They were more of a weight, kind of like a heavy weight that is tied to your back or to your ankle, however you want to see it, that doesn't allow you to move, doesn't want you to go higher, doesn't want you to elevate. It's there like a weight. And we first create awareness of who is in your proximity circle, right? Your mom, your dad, your significant other, your husband, your wife, whatnot. And this kind of be sometimes a touchy subject, right? Because sometimes you realize that you've been married for 10 years and you don't know the person that you got married to. You don't know the person because change is always constant. So then we start working in relationships. Then we start working and seeing, okay, what is happening in this relationship? Are you happy in it? And if not, let's dive in. Is it a communication thing? Is it something that, okay, first off, is it something that can be fixed? Because you're not going to be miserable and stay there just out of pleasing others. Like, unfortunately, I've heard of people that stay together for the children. Let me tell you, if your relationship is horrible, the children know it. Children are not stupid. They may be little, but they're not stupid. They know what's going on. Next thing you know, the little sister is telling the little brother, I need a little time. Please stop talking to me. Because that's what they hear at their households, right? That's what they hear mommy tell daddy. So they're just repeating what they're hearing. So the whole thing of like staying together for the children, I'm sorry, but I'm not buying into that. Like, you're probably better off and you probably will be a lot happier if you peacefully decide to move on and remove that person. Or not remove that person. That came out wrong. I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say is just create space from that person. Because if you're staying in a relationship that is not giving you or lifting you up, and you're not giving and lifting up the other person, like, what are you doing? A relationship is supposed to be for us to grow together and like move together, move higher, elevate ourselves to a better version of ourselves, right? And for example, that's a tough one because sometimes you have to let go of someone that you think you love so much, and then you realize you may love them, but you're not happy with them. You may love them, but you don't like them. Does that make sense? You love them. So the feeling is there because maybe you've been with them forever, for a long time, and you know them for a long time, but you don't like the person that they are. And most importantly, you don't like the person you are when you are with them. So that's the craziest part. And another one, for example, relationship with family members, right? The person that is like, I don't know, in their 20s trying to figure out what to do, and they have this parent that is like, oh no, you're not going to be good at that. No, I think you should be going for this instead. Or they give you all these different things that you have to do, and because you're their son or their daughter, you quote unquote have to do them because they're your parents, right? But that is hindering your potential, and that's hindering your life. That's hindering what you want to do with yourself and whatnot. Well, it's time to set up your healthy boundaries and say, I'm not going to do that. Of course, in the kindest possible way, of course, in the nicest possible way, but just really putting your foot down and saying, I'm not going to do that. And I know it can be hard. So we have to look for the words, it's not sometimes what you say, is how you say it and the energy behind it. So this is so important when you have to detach from someone that you love so much and putting barriers around them. And just saying, okay, since you are my family member or my wife or husband, and I love you so much, then you put healthy barriers. Kids sense all emotions. Yes, they do. You bet they do. Kids know. Kids are constantly like, they know. They probably know better than adults because they don't have all this judgment in their brains. They just know. They feel it. So that's why it's so important to not stay together for the kids. Stay together because you want to stay together, not for the children. You're not doing any good to them if you stay together just for them. So anyway, we were talking about, gosh, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, just setting up healthy boundaries and saying no when you want to say no and saying yes when you want to say yes, from, again, knowing yourself instead of thinking of disappointing others or pleasing people. Just detaching healthily, like if you have to put some distance between you and another person, do so. Like move somewhere else. The world is huge. You can move somewhere else. You can decide to give yourself a break from them on social media or whatever other means of communication you have with them. You can even like set your contacts, block another person that's been toxic or block them for a particular period of time if you don't want to talk to them all the time. But it's so important to, again, go back to the center of yourself. You are the center of your life. You are the most important person in your life, right? So putting yourself first. And I know that sounds selfish, and that sounds against everything that we've been taught as a society. Don't be selfish. Well, let me tell you, for you to be a good human, you have to be selfish because you have to take care of your needs first. If you don't take care of your needs first, it's like this whole thing that they see in the airplanes, right? If the cabin depressurizes or whatever, put your mask on first before you can help your child. It's kind of like that. So you help yourself first before you can help a child or an older one or anybody else around you. You cannot help others if you haven't helped yourself. You cannot be kind to others if you're not first kind with yourself. You cannot be the best version of yourself to others if you're not being so first with you. Right? If you're not being the best version of yourself with you and just understanding who you are and what you're here for, what you came here for. And all of that is in your DNA. You just got to pay attention. And your body's telling you. Your body's constantly showing you the emotions because our body is our compass. So it's constantly going to tell you this is what you should be doing. This is what you should not be doing. Just feel it. Feel it. Can you feel it?
Yes, I love it. Nadia Flores, she's dropping a lot of truths today, a lot of wisdoms, a lot of love and light and boundaries in a healthy way. And so I love that. Just standing strong in yourself, that is incredibly important. You need to be strong with yourself because life is wild enough. So to be ungrounded and uprooted from yourself, it's only going to cause more chaos and heartache for yourself. So, but there's a lot that goes on in the world, and of course it does affect us. We have so much going on in terms of weather and climate change, and just reports coming out that climate change and global warming is incredibly real and dire. And we have earthquakes in Haiti and conflicts going on around the world. And so how do you ever coach any clients who feel the pull, the humanitarian pull, and they just want to be a part of something bigger humanity wise, and they don't know how to go about it? Like, have you ever encountered that, or what are your thoughts on that?
I don't think any of my clients have approached me for that particular reason. I really believe in unity, Kara. I really believe that we are one. That's why all this separation with all the social issues that are going through right now, I personally try not to stand for either or, because I really believe in the oneness of the human race. I really believe that we are one race. We are united. We're unity. We're part of an all. We're part of one. All of us are part of this unity, right? So trying to separate humanity is like, I don't know what someone else is trying to do. And I don't want to get into conspiracy theories because it's not what I'm here for, and it's not really what I believe in either. But what I believe in is we are one. We are all part of the same thing. Therefore, we get to love on each other. We get to support one another. We get to just accept. We get to hold ourselves to our highest potential with love, with compassion, with kindness, with openness, and just be and let be. Be and let be. And yeah, that's really what I believe. And in terms of climate change, for sure, I think the earth in the end will win because the earth's vibration is a lot higher than any of the human beings, I think. So that's why, I mean, we get to behave, otherwise Mother Earth takes its toll, right? What happens? We're destroying Mother Earth. Next thing you know, there's hurricanes, there are typhoons, there are all these things that are destroying humanity, right? So if some people don't want to see it, like, that's to them, but something is clearly going on. So what can we do about it? From each person's perspective, just find what you can do about it and then go for it, right? To make it better according to each person's perspective and each person's perceptions. Everyone is going to think and do different, right? So whatever you think is the right move for you to help this planet, do it. But it's so important to have acceptance as well, because there are going to be people who are not into any of these subjects whatsoever. And then it's important to understand that everyone is in their own journey. You know, everyone has a different perspective. Some people are going to care as much as we do, and some people are not going to care. And that's okay. Because the moment we have expectations that everybody should be a certain way, that everybody should care about something that we deeply care about, and that things should be a certain way, that word should never exist. That's a judgment right there. But honestly, that word should, I think it's like the root of suffering, because it comes from not accepting, right? You should be like this. For what? Well, because otherwise you're not fulfilling my expectations of you, for me, for my perspective. If you don't do this, then I'm going to be mad. Well, why do other people have to live their lives around what you think and what you think they should be like? Everybody's in their own personal journey, and nothing is ever personal. Nothing is ever, even when it seems personal, it's never personal. It's just a reflection of what other people have inside. It is really never personal. So that's why it's so important to just accept and move on and be and let be without judgment, because we never know what's going through the other person's head. You know, it's so easy to just judge someone and say this person is being so and so and so. You don't know if that person is going through a rough day or having a bad time, or like maybe something horrible just happened and that's why he or she's acting like that. You know, it's so easy to just go with the judgment. Well, before we judge, let's just ask ourselves, why am I judging? Like, what am I seeing in myself that is mirroring back from that person? Because in the end, remember, judging is mirrors. right? Everything we see on the outside is just a reflection of who we are on the inside. So when we're judging others, we really are judging ourselves. Although there might be some insecurity, there might be some fear, there might be some self-doubt. So when we are looking out and we're about to make a judgment on other people, let's ask ourselves, that's when awareness comes, right? Wait a minute, before I judge this person, why am I seeing in that person that is maybe mirroring something that I don't see in myself, that I might not like from myself? So I can work on that, so I can become a better version of myself, for myself, not for my family, not for anyone else. I mean, in the end, it will have a positive ripple effect on those, right, on my proximity circle. But you become the better version of yourself for you, not for anybody else. The whole purpose of that is for you to be free, fulfilled, happy, healthy, abundant, and everything in between. So, yeah.
Yes, yes, definitely. And we have a little bit of interference back and forth again, and that's okay. I love it. And I want to go back to the words should. I say when you start saying should all the time, you're just shoulding all over yourself. So, and it's true. You're just like, oh, so much shoulding. It just like gets you like muck. So, or like should, so so we have a little bit of time, and then if Zach wants to come on in a few minutes, great. He can pop on anytime. If not, we'll just write it back on or write it through until the end. But is there anything you want to just specifically talk about with the audience? Like what's exciting that's going on in your business, or what is something that you are really just want to talk about and that's on your heart?
Yeah, I've reinvented myself professionally, therefore personally, so many times, because every time you reinvent yourself, you get to almost like choose again who you want to be. I've been in like so many different places and I lived in different countries, and I've pursued different careers and whatnot, and it's been so much fun. And that is something that I would like to share with the audience, because I feel that we need to dare to be ourselves. We need to dare to just do whatever it is that we want to do and follow our hearts fully and unashamedly and confidently, and just claiming our desires and going all in for it, because life is for us to enjoy it. I remember when I was little, I really wanted to work as part of the entertainment team in a resort, but then I told my parents, and they were like, "No, that's not a job for you. Like, it's very low paid, and you're probably not going to enjoy it and whatever." But I really wanted to, so I went and I pursued my education, and then when I finished it, I decided to go back and do it. That was my childhood dream. Whatever your childhood dream, go for it. Like, think of what you used to want to be when you were a child. When people ask you, what do you want to do when you grow up? Think of that and go and fulfill it. Like, I invite everyone here to just go and do it, even if it's for one day. At least have that feeling, because it's something that you wanted to do. It's something that you wanted to experience when you were a kid. Maybe you forgot along the way because, I don't know, you were told to go to college, and then you got caught up in this loan, and you're still paying it 50 years later. Come on, mate. That system is whatever. We're not talking about the system, but the thing here is follow your heart. Like, whatever it is that you wanted to do as a kid, I invite you to do it. Do it, even if it's for a day, for a week. Maybe you cannot make a living out of it now, but just do it for the fun of it, for that experience, because your soul wanted that. There's a reason why you wanted it. So go and do it. Like, for example, there's another thing, like, hello, Zach. What do you want to do when you were a kid, Zach? Hey, you're muted.
I got to tell you guys, I have an amazing show. I figured out what the problem is. It's on another end of StreamYard, but don't worry about it. And thank you for joining us, Kara. You're awesome. Nadia, awesome. You can hear my voice is hoarse, so I'm trying to save it. But to answer your question, I'm doing exactly That's why I wanted to jump in. Exactly what I wanted to do as a kid is perform music. And I've been blessed to be hanging out with beautiful spirits and souls. And from the first time I saw the Beatles, I was like, that's what I want to do. And that's that's I just wanted to add that and say thank you. And you're amazing. You know, you guys are together, very special.
Oh my God.
So, yes.
I love that. I love that. You know, just following your heart and just going all in for what you want and doing what you wanted to do when you were a kid. I love that so much. You have no idea. It's such a source of inspiration for other people, you know, to just understand that it can be doable. If you want to do it, do it. You know, Zach, what an example. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're absolutely welcome. You take care of yourself. We'll see you soon.
Yes, absolutely. See you soon. And yeah, like what a cool story, wasn't it, Kara?
What was that? I didn't quite get it. I think you're muted.
Sorry, thank you. Yeah, just like seeing Zach saying that he is doing what he wanted to do as a child, like that is so inspiring, and that is exactly what I am inviting everyone to do here. Whatever dream you had as a child, go and do it, even if it's for a little bit. You know, at some point, I remember when I was in my teenage years, I took French classes because I had to take French classes in school. I was not excited about it, but then I started learning about like Paris and like the food and the Eiffel Tower and the history. And I said to myself, well, I need to go and live there. So it wasn't until later in life, but I managed. Like I decided to enroll myself in classes and I just went and do it, even when everybody was telling me not to. People were telling me you're too old for that. People were telling me, aren't you afraid of going to a foreign country, not even speaking the language properly and whatnot? I said, I'm going to do it, you know? And you just claim it and you go all in for it. And let me tell you, the feeling of accomplishment and the feeling of fulfillment once you go for what you want and you really can see it, feel it, taste it, smell it, touch it, is out of this world. Like you just feel so free and so powerful. You really trust yourself in such like another level of trust for yourself, because it's just like, I said I was going to do this and I'm doing it. You know, it just gives you so much self-confidence. So that's why you start with baby steps, right? Little by little. Even if it's something as little as today, I want to have a luxurious bath. And you just prepare yourself a nice bath with maybe some aromatherapy or like essential oils or something very, very nice and luxurious. But you're creating what you want, right? And that kind of little by little builds trust, helps you build trust in yourself, helps you build confidence. And before you know it, those little things pile up and you start to dare to do things that are bigger and bigger and bigger, even when everybody outside is telling you, no, if it's a broken, why fix it? No, you shouldn't be doing this. If you're good here, you have such a good job right here. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, before going to Paris, I was working a beautiful job in like here in Playa del Carmen. I was working in a beautiful luxury resort. It was like a 5-star resort. I was working as a concierge and a resort hostess, and I was enjoying it so much. I was making good money. The people were super kind, super nice. Like the days just flew by, and it was a beautiful property to begin with. And I really enjoyed it, but I just knew there was more, and that I still wanted to go to Paris to live there and learn French. So when I decided on that, I remember everyone was telling me, but why? Like your job is so perfect. Like it's so you're so good at your job and you're so perfect at what you're doing. And we were about to offer you a manager position. And why are you leaving and whatnot? Like all this questioning from the outside, you know. And I really think, Kara, that this is when the universe tests you. The universe is going to throw tests at you to make sure that you really want what you're saying that you want. The universe is going to like put some hurdles to make sure that you have the resilience, the patience, and the perseverance to go through them. And again, that's when a coach comes in handy, right? When you're going through those hurdles, here we go. With coaches, it's so much easier than just doing it on your own, because otherwise people's judgment and people's questions, they make you think twice or sometimes 3 times on your desires. Imagine if I had decided to listen to everyone that lovingly wanted me to stay here, because they were just so afraid for me. They were afraid that I was gonna fail, or they were afraid that I was not gonna make it, or they were, I don't know, they were afraid, but they were projecting themselves onto me. That's why they didn't want me to go. And on the best intention, right? They always had the best intentions for me. But at the same time, it was all coming from fear. Like, they loved me, but they're projecting their fears on me. So if I had listened to them, I would have never experienced that. And it was something that I really, really, really wanted to experience. So I am so glad, I'm oh so glad that I decided to say, you guys, I love you, and thank you so much for your support and appreciation, and for you wanting me to be safe, but I'm out. Peace, everyone. I'm going to Paris, and I'm going to follow my heart, and I'm going to follow my dreams. And while being there, it was just amazing, an amazing experience. And what I take with me the most is that feeling of accomplishment that I was telling you before about, like the feeling of accomplishment of saying, I'm going to do this. And then when you have that motivation, your desire becomes so much bigger than your fears, than your self-doubt, than anything that anybody else is saying out of fear, that you just do it. You don't care. You don't care. It's almost like you're a horse with the blinders, and you just go all in for it. You don't even care about what anybody's saying, you know? So yes, I invite you to be like a horse with the blinders. Remember what you wanted to do when you were a kid, and just go all in for it. Or if that's not your desire anymore, find something you want to do, like you truly want to do. Don't wait for you to be retired. Like, honestly, and Kara, this happened 2 weeks ago. My grandpa unfortunately passed away, and I was like super sad. Of course, we go through grieving, and we know it's a linear, but we're not here to talk about grief. But what I'm saying is that we don't have any guarantee that we're going to be alive tomorrow. So for those of you that are waiting for retirement to live their best life, free yourself today. Freedom is a mindset. Free yourself today. And you have control over your life. You create your reality. If you need to change relationships, do so. If you need to change your eating habits, do so. If you need to change jobs or careers, call me. If you need to, whatever it is that you need to do, you got the power to create your reality, and you have the power to create what you want to experience and live in this life. So that's my 2 cents, Kara. Thank you so much for that question. I love that.
Vogue's Free Your Mind and the Rest Will Follow. That was my favorite. Just En Vogue's Free Your Mind, the Rest Will Follow. And that was just such a strong song and fierce. And I'm like, yes. That whole notion just like sticks with me. So just that line that you just said, love it. So thank you so much, Nadia. You've been amazing, beyond amazing. And from one coach to another, just I honored. So I appreciate you. And yes, how can we, I know we've been flashing everything down below, but is there anything else you want to add to how we can get in touch with you?
Thank you, Kara. Yes. So there is my Instagram below is Nadia Flores. Actually has been changed to the Nadia Flores, THE Nadia Flores. That's my new Instagram. And that's how you can reach me. You can find me also at NadiaFloresCoaching.com. And then on Facebook, oh my gosh, I got a story for you. My Facebook name is Nadina Flores. And the reason why it's Nadina is because a long time ago, when I was working on cruise ships at some point as well, of course, out of following my heart and just out of like whimsical, just deciding that I wanted to travel, I was working on cruise ships, but then a lot of people were adding me as friends and just stalking me. So here is me trying to go away from stalkers, changing my name for like, I don't know, I think I changed it for like I changed it maybe like 3 or 4 times. The 5th time I chose Nadina. And after choosing that, is Nadinha. I'm like this, they're never gonna find me. Well, it didn't work out, but years down the line, I tried to change my name back to Nadia on Facebook, and Facebook just won't allow me to do that. So on Facebook, I'm officially Nadinha, so Nadinha, last name Flores, so the same one. But it's so crazy because now I have a fake name on Facebook, right? So I'll have to work with them because I already sent them a message, but they're not really being very helpful so far. Hopefully soon, but yeah. So that's why my name on Facebook is different. But either way, you can reach me out through either Facebook as Nadinha Flores, Instagram then Nadia Flores, or my website nadiaflorescoaching.com. And you can also send me an email, nfloresh@gmail.com. And what else? I think that's it. And I would love to hear from you guys. And what else? Yeah. Reinvent yourselves, guys. Reinvent yourselves. Embrace change. Be proactive about it. Remember what you wanted to do and what you wanted to be when you were a kid, a teenager, or even now. Whatever it is that you want to do now, go and do it. I got to tell you, besides being a coach right now, I'm pursuing as well TV hosting. And this just like I finished taking a TV hosting course like 2 weeks ago, and I'm already sending my demo reel out to like production houses and stuff, because I believe that we are here to enjoy our lives and to experience anything and everything our heart is desiring. So go all in for it. Love you so much, Kara. Thank you so much for this space. Thank you so much for your beautiful energy. It's been such a pleasure to be here. Thank you again, Zach, listening to us. Thank you so much for doing this. It's been such a joy and a pleasure. And once again, muchas gracias, señorita. Thank you so much.
Goodness. Thank you, Nadia. Nadia, oh my gosh, yes. Thank you, Nadia. You're amazing, beautiful spirits, and super huge honor to talk to you right now. And we are going to get into it. Oh, there you are again. Interference? Do we have interference?
I think if perfect. Now it is perfect. Thank you so much, Kara. It's been an honor chatting with you. You have such beautiful energy. I love it.
Yes, yes. Energy. I love it when energies match. It's a beautiful thing. And I just want to say, like, I love your spirit and I love your confidence and I love your strong sense of self. And that's just something that is so important to see, especially when you're like, I just want to kind of, see change and myself, and I want this proper support system within myself. And like just looking you up on media just to kind of get a glimpse of who you are before meeting you. It's just I'm like, man, this beautiful, strong, confident, sweet woman, it's just like it radiates. So I love it so much. I have loved this interview so much. Shout out to Zach. Yes. And yeah, thank you so much. I guess because I think we're just gonna go on to rounding out the show. And Nadia, thank you again. And so let's do it with a little bit of who's this? Whoa! Who's this? Oh, 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 oh. Oh, so this guy, Nappy Head Funk Army, Maryland, August 21st. Oh yeah, the Crab Feast. If you want tickets, let us know. We still have some to give away. We want you to join in on the fun. Show some love. Yes. So speaking of love, much of it to Nadia Flores, reinvention coach. Nadia Flores coaching. Yes, find her on Instagram. Beautiful, wonderful spirit and lady. Thank you, Zach, for producing. Shout out to everyone. Dr. B. And Bird Bait. And everyone. I love this. Just embracing this whole hosting thing. So thank you so much for just being patient and letting me roll with it with you. Oh, this is fun, guys. Love this. So we're going to vibe a little bit. Yes. Also, shout out to Broadway Streets. Everyone's been walking by looking at me like I'm something, and I love it. So shout out to Natty. Yes. So we're going to close this out. And thanks again for watching. Much love to Zach, much love to Nadia. And August 21st, Nappy Head Funk Army in Maryland. Again, reach out to Zach and I for tickets and details. Show your love. So love you all. Thank you so much. And until next time.